I'll let you know when I die out. You'll see it. I'll just be like, what were we talking about?
Hey guys, so Ryan here.
Shit, I keep forgetting. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, with Tony, the specialist that keeps DSG and this house together.
as of very recently.
Yeah. So we want to address LinkedIn groups and optimization on LinkedIn, right? I am, as I said before in the previous video, if you haven't seen it, very inexperienced in LinkedIn, and Tony brought up some very important points that I need to use and implement with my marketing strategies, especially for my real estate clients. So yeah.
Yeah, so the LinkedIn groups, so here with Mark, a lot of his strategy is how to properly utilize Facebook groups,
right,
which essentially is you're picking a topic that's fairly it's very much relevant to your target audience,
right,
but it's not necessarily specifically just selling your product. You're giving your customers an opening or like a welcoming community for them to discuss topics,
right,
and issues that are relevant to all of them, right? So it just creates a really cool community and environment to engage and build, you know, not just trust but really a relationship with people that perhaps down the line, you know, you'll be pushing them down a sales funnel. But what's interesting is I think that Facebook groups are very much underutilized.
Like,
and I think LinkedIn groups are even
more.
Yeah, no one's touching LinkedIn groups. And there's a lot of gaps in pretty much any industry for there to be LinkedIn groups. And it's
why would you? I know one, simply because like e-commerce in general is relatively new.
Yeah.
So like people taking advantages of all these channels is only now catching on. You know. But why? So tell me, what are the advantages of, let's say, LinkedIn groups in relation to like Facebook groups?
So I think the first one is like, if you're signing up for Facebook, you probably signed up a few years ago. More than likely, it's some old like Yahoo or Hotmail email. So it's actually, so if you're gonna pull emails from Facebook community, more than likely those are not going to be primary email accounts.
Right.
I'm kind of speculating. I don't have any numbers on that, but that's my speculation.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Where LinkedIn is, that's your professional email account for the most part. So the singular reason I would say that focusing on LinkedIn groups, again, totally depending on your industry and all that stuff, but if there were to be one singular reason, it's because you actually, LinkedIn, again, I haven't done it very recently, but last year you were able to take the members in that actual LinkedIn group.
Right.
They give you a list of all their emails, and then you can send them, I think it's like one message per week, I believe it is. But shit, you know what? Now might be wrong on this.
No,
I don't know if it's InMail. It's either InMail or they give you access to their actual email.
Right.
But I don't remember ever doing. It was always like direct to that list. I don't think I ever pulled it into like some third party like email, like MailChimp or anything. But either way, it gives you access to their personal information, and it does allow you in small capacity. But again, if it's even once a week, that's super huge. So like we are creating, and a lot of this is what's crazy is like there's so much opportunity that the groups that we did create. We did no activity. We didn't engage at all. Like I check back in 6 months, and there'd be a few thousand people on these like professional groups, and we're not doing any of it. Like we're not trying to facilitate conversation, put thought-provoking questions, engaging with them. Like literally, we just put the group out there, and then people just see it and they join, and that's, you know. So like that's part of it too. Is people are like going out of their way to try and network with people within these communities. So like they're doing a lot of the legwork for you as well.
Yeah, I think that is a good point, because to get people to engage in Facebook groups after dealing with the entire feed and all the other groups and pages that they're being engaged by, also considering the income bracket of most of those people, is a total different conversation, right? So I could definitely appreciate that of the back, like that is okay, great. And then in relation to optimization on LinkedIn.
Yeah, so again, all of this shit depends on what industry and all that stuff. But the way that we are utilizing it, so obviously you're scrolling through and like you're seeing a ton of just like professional headshots.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do is we change the actual profile pic to like we're hiring, and then we would target. So like we use that profile and then we'd be targeting the people that we're like the positions that we were trying to fill.
Right.
You know, obviously using your banner space, we would put or embed all of our like company downloads. So if there's any like takeaways, right? So like a fact sheet or something like that. Again, totally depending on what industry. We were embedding. I'd make like the animated videos or some type of like promo intro video, putting that there. So really it allows you to like place files too, or just gives you more opportunity to embed some type of useful medium or media. But yeah, so that's just like super basics of it, and then obviously there's everything else like the professional photo, the banner, the like
the visuals.
And then also a lot of people will use instead of just like a generic like I'm the chief marketing officer of whatever, it's like learn how to 10x your whatever. Right. So like they're actually replacing it usually with like a value prop or like a value proposition statement. So just like a singular statement that kind of shows them or tells exactly why their product or service would be of use to you. So the interesting thing is when you're scrolling through, right, like you'd see like John Doe, Chief Marketing Officer, or John Doe, click here to learn how you can 10x your marketing or whatever, right? So completely different, and that's like the only thing they're seeing is the name and then that. So like there's a strong shift to that the last few years, people starting to use that, which is interesting, and I'm not sure about recent stuff, but some basics.
Okay, so I would try to implement these I have to implement these strategies as soon as possible so I can sell some of these properties in Nicaragua. Like we already have like 2 or 3 other clients who are interested, and because they've seen the traction we've gotten with the Facebook ads, but to sell these $250,000, $500,000 homes is a total different ballgame from rentals. Totally different.
It's super interesting though, because there's just so much potential, and I feel like if you can get a few solid funnels built out and then start doing some A/B testing with some channel ads and experimenting with different channels, right? Like, and that's the interesting thing too, right? Is like we just kind of arbitrarily say that LinkedIn would be super interesting, but with all of this, right? Like the first step is figuring out who's your actual customer, like. Who is your customer, doing your persona work, all of that upfront research and stuff upfront so that you know like, oh, John Doe, he spends X amount of hours on this and he goes on LinkedIn once a week, or like maybe, for some products, like Twitter or Pinterest, like it totally depends on who that person is. So figuring out who that is and then building a whole workflow, and like, I really feel like once you get those few key things lined up, like this is gonna be really interesting to see the property sales go on.
We also have to discuss ClickFunnels. Maybe not today. But
I need a little bit more. Well, I guess I'm doing it right now, so that'd be interesting.
I'm also playing with ClickFunnels. I'm playing with
lead pages.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think I just started. But guys. So let me not keep you all. Thanks again. If you have any questions, comment. If I'm speaking terribly, just comment terrible or
speak slower, and then also you're supposed to say subscribe. Right?
Subscribe. So it's supposed to be like, I'm not sure which side. One of these sides below here, you should subscribe. Okay, see you guys. Ciao. Right.